What's going on, America? This is Kevin from Kevin's Corner, and I got to roll up my sleeves on this one because I'm going to have to referee a fight, okay, on the Lord Ingram show tonight. I watched it, and I watched one of the most vicious. Now, I showed y'all one before that I had to do a little commentary on about Tucker Carlson, who destroyed this man in the ring. I guess he was running for some office and he had the nerve to make a video about gun control, and he threw out all these crazy accusations. Got out there, you know, he's a lightweight, and he jumped in the ring with a heavyweight and got knocked out, throwing out all types of non-facts, and Tucker destroyed him. Well, I just saw another one. And, you know, it's rare that you see somebody just get beat down. I'm talking can't get a blow in, just trying to swing, and they go into the windmill, lose all their form. In the words of Mike Tyson, I'm sure when this commentator came on to Lord to debate against Candice Owen, he probably thought he had a shot. He probably came in with a game plan. But as Mike Tyson said, you know what? Everybody has a plan until you get hit in the face. This guy got hit in the face. I mean, wait until you hear the end, like in round, well, he didn't make it to round 12. I'll give him round 4 or so, round 3.5. Wait until the dude is standing up completely knocked out, trying to finish his statement. It's like, that's all, folks. Yeah, so let's get into it.
Now, rather than offering their own positive pro-growth agenda for America, the Democrats have gone really negative and really nasty.
That's true.
They casually hurl charges of racism at conservative targets, of course, including at the president himself.
Well, I think this country hasn't dealt well with the issues of race. I mean, we have a president who's a racist, we have...
Let me pause you there. That's just that you believe in his heart he's a racist.
Oh, I don't know what in his heart means.
So I want to apologize, first of all, for Nick Nolte from 48 Hours. Yeah, that guy right there, he's from Ohio, okay? He's garbage. But you see, Laura brought up a point, okay, because, you know, she's doing the announcement. She's about to bring the fighters in, but she's doing her early pre-fight announcements. And, you know, Nick Nolte comes on, and he just throws out an accusation. Yeah, the president of the United States is a racist. Now, you see the tactics of the Democrats. It's just whenever in doubt, sprinkle a little racism on it, okay? It's like pixie dust. It solves all problems. Yeah, whenever you have a problem, racism. Yeah, you get pulled over by a police officer for doing 117 in the fast lane, and they're, hey, can I see your license? You know what, officer, I don't have a license, but I got some racism sprinkled out on it. You know, anything that goes wrong, any opposition, that's what they do, racism. To the point where racism is so diluted, nobody really can identify real racism anymore. But remember, this is just pregame, so let's watch.
Ohio must be really proud. Well, Trump is the first president to try to reverse the bleed of manufacturing jobs from Ohio, the old Rust Belt, and being called a racist is how he's repaid by Sherrod Brown. Well, of course, he's probably going to be joining the 2020 race, and so he has to join in with the rest of the race hucksters who are dividing America under the guise of tolerance. Yeah. In their America, the wall is racist. Yeah. Deporting illegals is racist. ICE is racist. Century-old monuments, they're racist.
That too.
Assimilation, definitely racist. Requiring English to be spoken, absolutely racist. College Indian mascots, oh, they were way racist. Way beyond blackface, many costumes are now racist.
Halloween costumes.
But now liberals are in a huge pickle. How do they maintain the racial bona fides when one of their own governors cut loose during a med-school Halloween party dressed like this? Well, of course, with the release of this image on Friday, the career of Virginia Governor Ralph Northam hangs in the balance. Now, initially, the Gov apologized.
Yeah.
I'm deeply sorry.
Now, let's get to the fight.
I cannot change the decision.
Okay, so now, get ready. Got a commercial. I'm sorry, y'all. I should get YouTube Red or something, get around that. But anyway, so now, let's get to the fight. Here we go. Cool. Laura, bring in the fighters. Okay.
Give it to us. Each time the Dems highlight the...
Here we go. So in this corner,
in their response,
we have...
Candice Northam
Candice
is kind of just the latest case, isn't he?
So she comes out first. Y'all ready for this? Give it to him. She's warming up right now. This is a little sparring, you know. She's feeling it, you know. Hit him with one of those, okay? But then it's going to get real ugly.
constant racial rush to judgment, Joe Lieberman was talking about today as well, and yesterday, will certainly come back to bite the Democrats again and again.
Absolutely. And I think that in the future, we're going to be able to underscore how disingenuous they are on the topic of race altogether because of acts like this. I mean, I actually didn't find their response to be enough. I'm sure it's nice that they called for him to resign, but where are the mobs? Where are the protests, right? Whenever the left feels upset about something, no matter how disingenuous what that thing is, they seem to be able to assemble a mob overnight, like they did for Brett Kavanaugh, like when Antifa knocks on the door of Tucker Carlson. Where are all of those people? Do you want to know where they are? They're nowhere, because the left doesn't actually care about race unless it's a means to garner power for them.
Howard, there...
Ding! Round one, okay? So she came out. Let's see if my man has an ample response, okay?
Those on the left and fans of the president who say that Republicans can't bring this issue up. They have no standing to bring this issue up. And I want to play something for you. This is from Morning Joe. Let's watch.
How do you, if you were a Trump supporter, how do you offer any lectures on race? How do you offer any lectures on lying?
They have no morals at all. I mean, the Republicans are happy to ask Ralph Northam to resign. They have a much worse guy who's heading their party. It's ridiculous.
Of course, Howard.
So where'd they get that guy? First of all, let me break it down. You listen to Joe and you listen to this guy, and the goal is to silence the mouth of the right from hurling accusations at the real party that pushes race all the time and is very hypocritical, and they don't respond the same way when one of their own gets accused of anything, really. Racism, sexism, sexual assault. It's always tempered and measured for them, and they only get rid of them because they have to. Not because of principle, but because of political pressure. That's all. So their job right now is to run interference and try to say, well, you know what? Let's stop it right now before it gets started for any Republican to look at this and say, now here this guy did all this campaigning about racism only to find out this man was dressed in blackface. And so they don't want that. So now the liberal media tried to run a little interference for him. And let's see what this guy who she brought on to
everyone knows, Democrats, the ultimate founders, of course, of the KKK, not the Republican Party.
That's
the
true.
Roots of racism in the past and history in this country is not embedded with the Republican Party, the party of Lincoln, better with the Democrats.
Yeah.
I'm assuming there's a question in there somewhere, but I'll just quickly say, I think one of the reasons that Democrats have to talk about race and spend so much time talking about race is because we're a party that prizes diversity. And many of the people who fly our banner, who vote for our candidates, who activate and who, as was mentioned, rally and sometimes oppose other folks who are out there doing things that we disagree with, offer diversity as a part of this tapestry. And so it's not something we can run from. We don't have maybe the luxury the Republican Party has with being homogenous.
Well, what I'm trying to figure out here...
Okay, that was a lot of gibberish, okay? But I guess the premise of his argument is, well, they're the party of diversity, but that doesn't mean they're the party of problem solving, the party of America being first. Okay, yeah, we're diverse, and we should look out for all of Americans. But the Democratic Party, they look out for everybody but Americans. They look out for the Democrats first, and then anybody who can benefit the Democrats. But if you're an American and can't benefit them, then no. And see, they go by the perception. They want people to say, well, then perception must be reality. Meaning, if I have a black person in Congress, an Indian person, a Native American, a Muslim, then that diversity must be a representation and a reflection of my thinking, my values, my cultural beliefs, all of that stuff. And just because we have the appearance of diversity, then that must mean that we think like all Americans. Yeah. And yet, at the same time, when you talk to them and you start unraveling things, you'll find that they don't have diversity of thought. They all have the same stinking thinking. So just because you look like me in color doesn't mean you have the same cultural experiences and cultural beliefs. It doesn't mean that you have the agenda that represents the diversity of people in America, okay? But the Democrats function on perception, not substance. Just long as we look like we're doing stuff, then we must be doing stuff. As long as we look like we've included people that aren't qualified, it doesn't matter. As long as we have women, Hispanics, Native Americans, then obviously we must be intelligent enough to run the country. So therefore, diversity must means quality. Yeah, that's what that must means. But see, that's where their whole argument breaks down. They're more interested in looking good than being good. That's like a football team that dresses up and they come out with all the nice socks and tape and spats and all that stuff and stink when they play the game. Yeah, come out looking sweet, but stink. Now, let's see what happens. We're going into round 2, y'all.
Question. How do you excuse Joe Biden's myriad comments over the years?
Yeah.
So they
I
really
always excuse theirs. So here we go.
I think it's necessary, and I am
now,
being
get ready. Get ready.
It's the Senate.
Get ready. Hold on.
Or to get background on this story before.
Okay, here we go.
Whether or not the Post was able to get anybody on the record or to get background on this story before any of this came to light for the rest of the American people.
Blasey Ford is lucky if she doesn't get slapped with a defamation.
By the way, let me just set the tone. The conversation kind of shifted about the hypocrisy from the left. All right. So now Laura Ingraham brings up the fact that you now have a sexual assault accusation being thrown at the deputy mayor. The deputy governor or something, whatever, lieutenant governor, accusations of, sexual assault being thrown at him. And the way that I think it was the New York Times handled and Washington Post handled the stories differently. So when Brett Kavanaugh got accused, they ran with it as if this must be fact. But now they're tiptoeing around this lieutenant governor in West Virginia who happens to be a Democrat and a black man. Okay, so now this guy's trying to justify why, there's no difference between the way they covered it and this and that. And this is when Candice, she just said, you know what, forget boxing. I'm about to take the gloves off and knock your teeth straight out your mouth. Here it is.
Suit after all this, okay? There was no corroboration. They were trolling for this information. They were so aggressively curious.
No collusion, right?
Yeah, they were so aggressively curious about Kavanaugh. And Candice, go ahead. They were aggressively curious, but suddenly.
This happens over and over again on the left, and you're exactly right. They ignore the allegations completely. Party-wide, they ignored the allegations against Keith Ellison, and there was a ton of evidence and a police report to support this woman's claim, and they ignored her. And they completely ignored the allegations. And this is what the problem is. That has nothing to do with what I just said. What I'm saying is that the people within the Democrat Party said they launched some investigation and determined that she was not a credible witness, and yet Christine Blasey Ford had not a shred of evidence, and they all decided that she was an incredibly credible witness, because at the end of the day, this has nothing to do with sexism, racism, misogyny, okay? The left doesn't care about any of that. It is just a mad quest for power, and ultimately it's harming this country. It is actually removing the severity of words like racism and sexism and misogyny when you point the finger, as you pointed out, Laura, and you say it to everyone. It just means nothing anymore. And Howard, I just want to say this one thing. You said earlier that your party has to always run on topic of race because it means something. No, it means nothing to you. You run on the topic of race because your policies don't hold up. And that's what's really happening right now in this country. Your policies, you cannot win on the merit of your ideas, so you instead point the finger and use ad hominem attacks against conservatives.
Howard, do you want to respond?
I don't even know where to begin. First off, I thought we were talking about the Washington Post and whether or not media.
It's a fluid conversation. This is cable TV. We're not right in Cicero here.
Fluid is a euphemism I'd love to use in this particular case. Obviously, we're talking about a couple different things that deserve to be connected here in a meaningful way. Certainly, no party is completely responsible or the complete represents the worst things that standard bearers of that party have said or done at one point or another in their political career. So I'm in no position, and I don't think anybody on this panel is to say that the Republican Party is Donald Trump or Northam is.
All right, I got to get Jeff Laura to really quick.
Wow.
Laura, a friend of mine suggested today that the dilemma.
Yeah, that right there was a knockout. Did you hear the argument she threw out there and the exposure of the Democratic Party to the degree where that man was like, wow, I don't know where to begin. Well, you know why you say things like that after you get beat up in that round is when you're trying to gather your thoughts and come up with something that sounds reasonable. See, and after he just got blow after blow where I had to throw the towel in. As you know, I went into the Rocky guy with the bald head when Apollo was getting beat. Throw the dang towel. Throw the towel. I had to throw the towel. This man came back with a series of words rambling on that made no sense. Well, I don't know where to begin because I really can't come up with nothing. She just destroyed me and exposed the whole history and plan and plot and actions of the Democratic Party. Brain, come on, work with me. Man, I ain't got nothing to do with this. I ain't got nothing else to give you, dog. All we got is racism, sexism. Oh, so you gonna leave me hanging, Brain? Look, man, it ain't my fault. I've been trying to tell you for years. Serving the Democratic Party don't make no sense, but you won't listen to me because they propped you up, gave you some cheese, and it's what you do, baby. So you on your own. Okay, fine. I'm gonna try to handle it. It makes no shoot out that party, and I'm no position to say that. Okay, Laura, just cut this interview because I'm looking real bad. I hope my mom ain't watching. This man just got his butt knocked out. Now, you've been listening to Kevin and Kevin's Corner. Check me out. Oh, I enjoyed that one. Man, I was sitting up. It was so vicious and brutal, I couldn't turn away. You ever seen something that's so ugly you can't look away? You like, that's ugly, but I got to keep watching it. That's how bad that was. Find me every Wednesday night, 7:30 live in Kevin's Corner on YouTube. Also, check me out on my live radio blog talk show. Check out Extreme Tees, my sponsor. The link's in the bottom. You put my name in, you'll get 20% off. Kevin is the code. So type it in. Kevin. I don't spell it all cool. Like, yeah, it's just spelled with a C. No, I'm just practical. Kevin, okay. All right, I pronounce it like Kevin. It's not Kevin. Okay, so check that out. And also, don't forget to hit like, share, the notification button, and subscribe. And if you want to donate to Kevin and Kevin's Corner, feel free. There's a link in the bottom. Do that as well. Did you enjoy the fight tonight? Yeah, I did. All right, God bless you. See you next time in Kevin's Corner.